So I wanted to come in for a tiny bit. I was in the shower, and I was every shower that I take, I always do meditation, and I take a minute to just sort of remind myself that I'm here, that I'm present, and that I deserve to be loved, and that even though I screwed up yesterday and I did this one horrible thing, I did all these, these 20 really good things, and try to take inventory on the, the quality of my days. And I have a little talk with God while I'm in there too, and I got to thinking about it, and one of the things that we have been deprived of is the power to say no. And we get deprived of that from the time that we were kids, and it's not just, molestation victims or people who are victims of human trafficking. These people have been, deprived of it, I think, in a larger capacity than other people have. But every single day that we go out, we're deprived of the no, or the power of no. And what I mean by that is that you're deprived of the ability to say, no, this doesn't feel good. I don't want to do it. And from everything, from buying your groceries to, every relationship that we have, there's these things where we feel like our mind is being leveraged through the whole relationship, and it's not just these momentary leverage. Oh, we're being leveraged by the heat to turn on the air conditioning, which means that we're going to have to spend more money. Those are normal kind of leveraging things, but when it's constant, you feel like you're constantly being leveraged in your relationships. We've been deprived of the ability to say, you know what, I won't tolerate this type of, kind of leveraging anymore. I don't feel that it promotes me. I, don't feel that it, excuse me, I'm just barely out of the shower. So I'm still kind of moist and hot. Empowering yourself to say, you know what, I matter. And right now for myself, I'm definitely feeling leveraged to join the Black Lives Matter movement. And from offers for interviews, from offers to join, have a quality, at least so they say, quality support. Joining up with this movement, that I would have all of the tools to do all of the things that I've been wanting to do. And as tempting as it is, I have to cry screaming balls of bullshit. The devil comes to you dressed in these really, really fancy clothes. God comes to you dressed in rags a lot of times. And while the Black Lives Movement is one loud, resounding voice, it is absolutely not my voice. It's not a voice that represents me. It is not a voice that protects me. It is not a voice that endorses me. It is not a voice that supports me. Whenever you walk into any kind of a situation, there's that fear that because you stand up against this Goliath, and let me tell you, this movement is turning into one hell of a Goliath. I have never seen, this is one hellacious monster that it has become. and it definitely has the ring of my inner Kraken, you know. But while you're out there supporting the Black Lives Movement, please remember, these people are invested in human trafficking. And they're doing that through your social media. Human sex trafficking and human trafficking are two completely different things. Your social media is a type of human trafficking and always will be. And as long as you know that and you don't try to climb the ranks, know that the right people are hearing your voice for the right reasons at the right time, you know, and they're hearing what they need to hear. And it may not even be exactly what you're saying, but they're hearing what they need to hear from you. This campaign is wrong. Until we start looking at black on white crime and calling that a hate crime, black on biracial crime and calling that a hate crime, when there is a day where you cannot use the word cracker and it is seen as being as offensive as the N-word, when you cannot call me an Oreo publicly, we will begin to be walking towards equality. When minority groups are not allowed to ask each other, why are you dating outside of your nationality, race, whatever? When that is seen as bigotry, we will be taking a step towards equality. Because that is exactly what we see as bigotry when it's two white people talking. When a white person goes to another white person and says, "Yo, David, why are you dating outside of your race?" That is racism. But it is 100% acceptable for minorities to ask each other that. No, that is racism. That is bigotry. It is hate. And it is a level of acceptable hate that we have come to tolerate in this country. And my life matters just as much as anybody else. Just because I happen to have a high yellow skin tone does not mean that I'm not black. And that is what the moral majority will tell you. You can't forget about the white, but that's not racism. Because let me tell you, I suffer just like everybody else. I've had a cross burned in my front yard. I was living in Oregon. I was dating a white man, and they did not like that. We ended up with a cross burning in my front yard. And what a lot of people see when they hear about racism like that is they hear about this black person or this biracial person or the minority person, but there is no consideration for the white person who is standing right next to them, who loved this black person, this biracial person, this whoever person, stood beside them and was terrorized just the same. Until we recognize their terror, that's not equality. We are in this together, and we need to stop saying yes to things that we want to say no to. I say no to the Black Lives Movement because we're in this together.